So what we did initially, so basically just for a little background on how the whole controller came to as is. Impulse Gear, which is my company, we started a prototype which was using the original PS3 sharpshooter controller that did use the move. We started with that, and then from there we created a tech demo game that we showcased to Sony, and then we started the development on Farpoint. And with Farpoint, we decided that we were going to try to build a new controller. This is it, the PSVR8 controller. It kind of went through probably 10 to 15 or so iterations. And Sony's hardware team is the one that's developed it, so it's absolutely available for all developers to use. But Impulse Gear has been kind of very much involved in the creation. So the ergonomics, the angles on the handles, where the buttons are placed, all of this is something that Impulse Gear has been giving feedback to Sony on. To try to make sure that we have something that developers want to use and that is comfortable for players to use for long periods of time. So the aim is really lightweight, and it has an ergonomics that allows you to hold it without strain. Yeah.
So what's the story of the game?
So in the story, you play as a pilot, and you're kind of arriving to a space station where your two colleagues, Dr. Grant Moon and Dr. Eva Tyson, are studying an anomaly that's right outside of Jupiter. So when you arrive, you actually are in first person in a spaceship, and you're kind of coming in, and as you are approaching, the anomaly ruptures, and it creates a wormhole that kind of sucks in the space station, as well as your colleagues and yourself, and then you arrive at the planet that you see in all the videos and the gameplay here today. So in Farpoint, you arrive and you're not with your colleagues, and you're trying to figure out what's happened to them and where they are. So as you're kind of moving along, you'll find holographic reprojections of their previous moments in the same spaces that you're in. One of the things that's kind of unique about Farpoint as a shooter is we're going with our story is more of a kind of a love story, where these the other two humans involved are kind of meeting each other and interacting on this planet. So you get to see how they're dealing with the fact that they've been stranded on a planet that is many light years away from Earth. We wanted to go with a very unique and kind of an emotional storyline, because with VR, we can bring characters very close to you, and we wanted players to be able to kind of feel the emotion when a character is very close with them. So kind of tying into that, we worked with 3 lateral and cubic motion, which are some of the industry leaders for facial scanning. So we have facial scanned for all of our characters, and then they did facial animation tracking. So we'll do very realistic normal map blending, so we will get the wrinkle maps in all of the areas of the face when the characters are animating, as well as morph targets, which just kind of makes the characters as realistic as possible. So when we pull a character in right here, we want them to be looking right at you and to feel as though you're in the world with them.
Yeah. Is the game strictly single player, or will there be some multiplayer modes like other shooters have?
So we have 3 different modes in the game. There's a single player game, which is about 5.5 to 6 hours. And then we have a challenge mode, which allows players to kind of replay each of the levels. There's 8 levels in total. They can replay them all, but they're a bit faster paced, and we've changed up how the enemies approach. And the other unique thing about the challenge mode is we have a scoreboard, so a leaderboard where players can compete online against their friends or against the top players in the world. And you can pick your weapon loadouts when you go back into the challenge mode. So from the lobby in Farpoint, we have 5 different weapons, and you can kind of pick the 2 that will work best for the level that you're trying to get as high a score on as possible. So in addition to the story and the challenge, we do a cooperative mode. The cooperative mode isn't supported in the single player, because with the single player we wanted to make it really story driven, to make it immersive and really be just focused on the narrative and that core single player type experience. With the cooperative, we built entirely new maps. So we have 4 maps for the cooperative player that we're going to launch with Farpoint, and then we're also looking to create a few new cooperative maps in the future in the form of DLC. So with that, we're also exploring like new biomes, new planets potentially, just like expanding on the world so players can play from a different perspective. In the cooperative mode, we do the same scoring, so it's the score and leaderboards as well, just like in the challenge mode, where players are going to be able to compete with a friend to try to beat their other friends' scores.
PS4 for the players.